So welcome to today's Let's Talk the Family Care Plan. Welcome to our Let's Talk the Family Care Plan presentation. Looking at today's agenda, we'll start off by meeting myself, the presenter. We'll take a look at what is the Family Care Plan, why have the Family Care Plan, who you are going to call in an emergency, the Family Care Plan Declaration Form, your emergency child care plan, the new policy from MFS, and what's next. I would like to start by introducing myself. Hello, I'm Meaghann Trollip. I work at Mainland, BC's Military Family Resource Centre as Deployment Services and Education Coordinator. When I started at the MFRC, my first project was to help the families in our community understand the importance of having a completed family care plan. So we created our guide to the family care plan and an emergency child care plan form. As a military spouse and mother of 2 little boys, I know the importance of having a completed and up-to-date family care plan. When our spouses are deployed, away on duty, or even for everyday life, the family care plan allows your family to be operationally ready. What is the family care plan? The family care plan is designed to ensure that you have a plan in place to care for your family in the event of an emergency call-out, planned deployment, or unforeseen situation. Why have a family care plan? Military readiness starts at home. If your family is prepared, your member has the peace of mind that their family is safe and taken care of while they are away. So let's take a closer look at the Family Care Plan Declaration Form and the Emergency Child Care Plan Form. The Family Care Plan Declaration is a D&D form that must be completed by all Canadian Armed Forces members who have dependent family members. This form indicates family situations to the commanding officer and is used to prevent absences by having members identify potential caregivers if emergency or urgent child care is needed. This form is kept by the member's unit. Additionally, the member can give approvals to share this information with the MFRC. By sharing this information, the MFRC can now assist in arranging emergency child care services for the family. What we have found at my MFRC is that the family or primary caregivers may be unaware there's a family care plan, or the form is incompleted and not up to date. This is why we have created a family-friendly version of the family care plan called the Emergency Child Care Plan. This form is to be completed as a family and is in the hands of the primary caregiver and stored at home for easy access. The Emergency Child Care Plan can be your family's version of the D&D Family Care Plan. The first thing you should notice is the spot to put the contact number of your duty officer. At our MFRC, the duty officer is the first point of contact if your emergency child care plan has been set into action or has fallen through. You would have to check with your local MFRC to find out who should be in this contact space. This page has been designed so you can give it to any child care provider and they will have your child's important information. This will ensure a speedy handover if you need emergency child care. You will also see we've included the following sections: the primary caregivers and space for their telephone numbers. All families are different. Here you can identify who is your family's primary child care provider or who is primarily responsible for your children. Dependent information in section includes all your children's information such as birth date, medical number, and any medical information. It is also important that you have some important contacts such as your school contacts, neighbors, and doctor's office. And finally, we have included a daily schedule. Let's take a closer look at a completed sample. Here you can see a completed page that will assist your child care provider. It has the parent's contact information, children's information, and important contacts, such as their schools, doctors, grandparents, and dentists. Also, the child care provider will find it helpful knowing your child's daily schedule. If your child takes naps or is busy with extracurricular activity, and you expect your child care provider to provide consistency in care, they need to know this information. When completing this form, feel free to add extra notes or information. Remember to keep this document in a place that is easily accessible. You do not want to be hunting down the document when you are in need of an emergency or urgent childcare. For example, I keep mine on my fridge. The second page of your childcare plan is for emergency childcare. This is a childcare provider who is available for day and nighttime immediate childcare up to 72 hours. We suggest finding 2 individuals who can be your immediate childcare provider. Think of who you would choose to be your childcare provider. What are some things you should consider when choosing your childcare provider? Some things are, for example, who would be the most reliable contact? Have you asked them to be your designate? How would expenses be covered? And where will your children stay? Under each childcare provider choice, we have an important information section. This is where you could answer some of those above questions. We have also included an important documents section on our form. Some important documents or items that you would include in case of emergency could be a childcare booster seat, photocopy of their medical card, favorite toy or blanket, medication, pictures of the family, cash, and if you have a secret word that can help a childcare and your child identify that this is a safe person. The first 72 hours are the most critical in an emergency. It is essential to have a plan that will help minimize your stress levels if you ever have to use it. The last 2 pages of your childcare plan are combined on this slide. We have included a section with 3 contacts for long-term childcare. This should be a person who can provide childcare after the initial 72 hours. This may be a grandparent, aunt, or uncle. It is someone who you can rely on for long-term childcare. The first 72 hours will give them the time to arrange travel to your home or for them or you to arrange travel of your children to them. Make sure you talk to these designates first and have a plan in place if you are in never need of their services. Lastly, non-emergency childcare providers are individuals or facilities that can offer drop-in childcare or pre-arranged childcare services such as a babysitter or daycare. We also suggest you talk with your local MFRC. They can assist you with completing your emergency childcare plan. They will be familiar with provincial childcare standards and offer referral services to local childcare providers. We would also like to encourage our families to make community connections, contact other military families, use them as support, ask them for childcare referrals, or even better, become each other's childcare support system. As with the family care plan document, it is important this emergency childcare plan is updated regularly. For example, if your neighbor is your emergency childcare provider and they have been posted out, you need to choose a new emergency childcare provider. Despite all your preparations, even the best laid plans can fall through. What happens then? So what happens when your emergency childcare, family care plan or emergency childcare plan has fallen through? You have your MFRC. Each MFRC is different, and it's important to contact your local MFRC to familiarize yourself with their emergency childcare procedures. So who would you call in the case of an emergency? This is a list of examples of who you might be calling at your local MFRC. So the family liaison officer, your military member's duty officer, the MFRC emergency child care coordinator, the MFRC deployment coordinator, your local unit's padre, a local social worker, or the family information line. We recommend contacting your local MFRC and discuss how to access emergency child care services at your home location. Military Family Services has released a new emergency child care policy effective August 2015 that provides families with support by facilitating their short-term emergency child care requirements. This emergency child care policy supersedes all previous MFSP policies and child care policies. Families are now eligible up to 96 hours of subsidized care under the following circumstances. So, all CAF personnel must submit their completed family care plan to their unit, identifying their primary and secondary caregivers that are available in the event of an emergency or military tasking. The Canadian Armed Forces personnel must ensure their family is connected with the MFRC in order to take advantage of services and are strongly recommended to file their ECC and their family care plan with their local MFRC or a trusted friend. The MFRC can assist with enacting their family care plan and providing emergency child care services if needed. Families who require short-term emergency child care may solicit local support from their local MFRC. Finally, as a family, complete your emergency child care plan and have it stored at home and readily accessible for your primary caregiver. When is ECC available? When your family care plan has fallen through. 96 hours of emergency child care supports families if their family care plan has fallen through. And they are dealing with one of the following circumstances. The CF personnel are required to report to duty. A period of respite is required and CAF personnel is absent due to military-related taskings. A CAF personnel or any of their family is seriously ill or injured. When a Canadian Armed Forces personnel or any of their family members have died. When a Canadian Armed Forces personnel require short-term temporary child care in order to secure essential necessities when newly posted, and that's up to 3 months after their posting date. And at the discretion of the MFRC's Executive Director for different circumstances due to the operational tempo and the modern military family. As said before, each MFRC is different, and it's best to speak to your local MFRC representative to discuss their procedures and your emergency child care plan and emergency child care needs. They are there to assist you with completing your family care plan and emergency child care plan. They can offer child care referrals or child care services. They are also mandated to provide you access to emergency child care services. It is great to see so many of you already connected with your local MFRCs, and we hope to keep you connected. So as a family, complete your child care form. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our office or your local MFRC by phone or email. Thank you for listening to today's presentation.